I'm still way off to the side. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe I can move.
Slide your chair over. There you go. That's all. There you go, buddy.
Use your fucking brain.
Yeah, man. I'm their guy, man. If they want to do fucking stadium shows,
That'd be awesome.
I'm definitely their guy for the right price.
Right. All right. So, welcome to episode 5. We
episode
are now
5.
Episode 5.
Look how comfortable I'm getting at doing this now.
It's not even election day anymore.
It's not even. I'm drinking just for fun now.
Oh shit.
Episode 5, which is a big episode for me because it highlights my current and long time project, Godless Promise Mechanism. And my good friend, Matt motherfucking Mengle, who has been on this ride with me for fucking years and years and years. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm jazzed too. We got the core duo of GPM today. So there's been lots of guys that have been around it, been in it, been a part of it, and it's always been great. No matter who the guys that have been in it, it's always been great. But there's been these core guys in there the whole time. Well, for the most part, the whole time. So yeah,
it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been one of the best projects I've been involved with in my whole musical career, as far as original music goes. And I mean, it was great to be able to start this whole thing with Forsyth, with Chris, man. I think it was one of the bravest things that he and I ever did.
Very true.
Pretty fucking cool.
It is cool. And here we are. What did we figure? This is 27 years later, something like that.
Something like that.
Holy smokes, man. And still is great.
Nice.
So without further ado, let's
episode
bring on
5.
Episode 5. Let's bring on Matt, do some GPM. Here we are with our first guest on Stage Door Chronicles. We have the always awesome Matt with us.
Matt motherfucking Mengle.
Matt motherfucking Mengle, the gorgeous. And
you're too kind.
And we're going to talk about a little bit of GPM tonight. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
How you guys?
Doing all right. Hanging in there.
Good.
So why don't you guys give us a little bit of, or anybody that doesn't know, Matt and Christian were both part of the Godless Promise Mechanism. And just so you guys know, I was looking that up the other day, and there's somebody just released a song called Godless Promise Mechanism that's out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't hear it, but I did see it. Somebody, I was
What's
like,
really
oh,
funny
shit.
is the number of bands called Less Than Zero.
Really?
Since we quit doing that.
All right, but yeah. Anyway, why don't you guys give us a little history of GPM?
Well, it started out as a studio project. It was Chris Forsyth, myself, and Kevin Rodella. And according to Matt's timeline, it's like 95 because he joined in 96, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's right. So I was the second guitar player.
In 96?
That joined, yeah, because you guys had Mikey.
Mike who?
Mikey.
Mike.
I
don't remember nobody named Mike.
Mike, remember Mike from I swear you guys had Mike, and he even talked to, dude, I even talked to him about it. He was like, dude, I can't get, it was all electronic, right?
Okay.
Industrial, electronic, 96, 95. And
I don't remember Mike.
Yeah.
I remember
Mike.
Kevin being the guitar player. then Chris going,
Well,
hey man, let's do
was-
this live. And Kevin was like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck that. And then we're like, well, we need a guitar player. Maybe we got that mic guy after. Maybe Chris, that was one of
No,
Chris's buddies.
he was a tryout or something. He couldn't get the timing down. I talked to him. I talked to Mike.
Oh my God. And
I
then
did. I talked to Mike. And he was like, dude, I couldn't get that shit down. And I was like, I know, because there's no real drummer to play with. It was all computer shit. And
sequences.
it was whack. It was whack. So anyway.
Okay,
well, Mike, if you're
thanks,
listening.
Mike, for all your help, bro.
God damn it. He's going to.
Thanks for all your help with the beginning of the
I
project.
can't remember his last name.
I don't really remember that, but anyway, so yeah, and then Matt joined, and because the plan was to play it out live.
Yeah, live.
And then from there we got Kenneth Koynach, and he took over all the sequencing. Basically, it was Matt on guitar, me and Chris on vocals, and Kenneth in the back
That was it.
on a riser with a fucking PC on a table.
when did Rodella bail out on it?
As soon as we mentioned anything about doing it live.
Really?
Yeah, he was straight up, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. So, and then Matt joined, and we did shows, and we did that first EP release in '96. We released Toxic Shock Syndrome on 668 Records, Neighbor of the Beast, baby.
Yeah, Neighbor of the Beast. Because 668 is next door,
not across the street.
667 is across the street.
That's right.
But yeah, we recorded that EP in that little apartment on Nevada.
That's right, Matt. Was Chris living with you at that time on that place in Nevada? Or
Yeah.
See, that's about. Well, I met you before that because I met you. You were still playing with Freak Show, and
What is that?
what are you showing me?
I'm trying to show this. The screen is reflecting back onto the screen.
Oh, is that the video?
Yeah, I can't get it up there. It's Godless Promise Mechanism on YouTube. Actually, you have to type in the whole thing, Godless Promise Mechanism. But yeah, Chris was living.
You type
with
it
me.
up. If you type it like this, it goes right to. If you type it just like that,
No,
it'll go right to the page.
Bad. Live. It's all live.
That was a Pure Energy 2 show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you have?
It's like,
Yeah.
Somebody recorded like a whole night.
Yep.
And then Kenneth chopped it up and put it on YouTube, I think.
How did you guys know Kenneth?
Scary bald guy. I don't know. I don't know where he came from. The depths of hell. I don't know.
I think it was somebody Chris knew. Because I didn't know him. I don't even
know. When I walked in,
Chris introduced me to Kenneth.
I walked in to be in the band, and I walked into Pure Energy because that was the practice space, which was
Yeah, it was.
pretty cool. Which is now the Black Sheep. But
Right.
I brought my rig in to what was Pure Energy, the Black Sheep, and Kenneth is sitting there playing some video game, and his sound was in the sound system of the venue, which was loud as fuck, and I couldn't even talk to anybody. Like, what the fuck? What was that? Duke Nukem. He was playing Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just blasting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, good God, man.
Playing video games on his computer.
Yeah, in the Black Sheep, and set up like,
Pure
and
Energy.
that was actually something that, as a band person, really made me think. Chris brought it up. We were so separated from each other while we were playing because my amp was in front of the bar, and the computer was in front of the house where Kenneth was, and you guys were standing in front of the stage, jumping around and trying to get your stage show shit and your live performance crap, and I was standing in front of the bar with my guitar shit. I was like, this is weird. It doesn't feel right, because those are like probably a good 20 feet from where we were. We're a good 20, 30 feet apart from each other, and there's no eye contact. And when you're playing with a real drummer,
you can look at somebody,
yeah. And Forsyth told me, he's like, dude, lock on to your freaking drummer, man. Put some shit on that and lock on. Because when you first, especially when you first hit the stage and you're getting going, your adrenaline's all
like in the
out
first few
here.
minutes of a set.
Yeah. And if you're not locked on with somebody,
you're gonna get lost.
Especially the drummer, you're gonna be off. Well, a lot of times you can be off.
We were off a couple times.
We were off a lot.
but then again, we didn't, like I said, man, like I've mentioned many times, we didn't know what the fuck it is we were doing.
And we didn't have a drummer.
We just knew that we wanted to make this kind of, we wanted to put our spin on this fucking genre of music.
Why were you guys so separated during that rehearsal?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't know. I think there was a conversation that came up between Forsyth and I where I was like, we need to group up. And that was I don't know if you remember, Christian, that was his saying. He was always group up, tighten up, let's focus, let's get together. He did that a lot, because after GPM, I was in a couple other bands with Forsyth, and that was really something that stuck with me with him was group up, get your shit together, tighten up, focus. Back in GPM days, we were on drugs. We were fucking out there. And I think that might have made him realize, he was like, it's like Christian's on acid, Ad's on speed. You guys are fucking out there. We need to group up. It's not working. It's not working.
How long did you guys rehearse before you started playing out? I imagine it took a little bit of time to get grouped up, if you will. And how long do you think you guys rehearsed before you finally hit the stage?
I would say it was a couple months.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long though.
No, it wasn't.
Because
it was very driven. It was very driven. When I joined, it was live performance. It was learn this shit. Let's go. Let's
play it live.
And then we had a date before you knew it, and it was hunker down and
be ready for the date.
Get your shit together quick.
Right.
That's really a lot how Chris was too. He would be like, okay, seems like we're pretty close. I'm gonna book a show.
Right.
Boom. We're doing it. Get your shit together.
Right.
And then he would put his his professional face on and start punching you. Right? right, Brian? You know
that's
that.
Right. Yep.
He'd be like, come on. But he was friendly about it too. He wasn't like an asshole. Just, are you there?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Chris used to, his nice little way of motivating me, he used to like to rub up and down on me, call me his little girlfriend. Fucking got a little weird sometimes, man. But called me his little princess.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was all good though.
He's so endearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the love. That's Chris's. I love you.
Yep.
I'm gonna ride you a little bit.
Right. He pushed me more than just about anybody to stay with playing live and you're right, and keeping your shit together, again, doing it right. And with any band I was in, and then being in a band with him was so much fun. But you're right. If you might be the band might think, oh, we still need some time to get ready or whatever. And he'd be like, well, we got a show in a week and a half. So it's time to get it together. We're going to be up there. We got to get it right. So
yeah. Yeah. His professional level was always a little bit felt like upgraded from a lot of guys that you were around.
Yeah.
He was always like par was high.
Mm-hmm.
And
the bar was always high.
Yeah.
The bar was high.
Right.
That's true. That's very true. It also, I don't know. I mean, he was also worried about how people would react. So he didn't want to put any half-assed shit
Right.
out ever. You know what I mean?
No.
Right.
I mean, although, there were times where he totally, there were times even Brian, you told me that one time he fucking came in and you guys did that show with him where he just came into a rehearsal and listened to you guys play for half an hour. And then the next day came in with a full set.
Yeah.
I mean, he could fucking zippity-doo-dah fucking song together for you if you needed him to, but he was always more about being ready when the time came.
Absolutely. And he definitely, in that situation, even though it was a quick thrown together thing, he still maintained that level of, he gave off the impression that that we had been doing this for months or whatever. And it was no up there dicking around or anything. I mean, although
nobody might have known better other than you and him. But,
right. Yeah. And but I tell you, the first time I seen you guys, Matt, I seen you at Pure Energy, and I was telling Christian, I was blown away. I didn't, I'd never seen anything like that at the time. And you guys, I remember you being really tight. It sounded really good.
We had no choice.
But right.
We were playing the sequences. We had to be tight.
And hearing Christian and Chris sing together was, I don't know, it just worked, and it was so good, man. And they were great songs. They were wonderful songs. And I got a chance to play them later on down the road, but when you guys first came out, it was fresh. You know what I mean? It was a refreshing thing, and it was cool to see. I really enjoyed watching you guys.
It was a lot of fun.
Freaking cool, Brian. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
That's
now,
cool.
did you guys? How long did you guys stay together as that lineup?
That was
maybe a year.
Yeah, that's it.
So you guys, you didn't do
98, I think.
Did you guys ever go anywhere outside of the Springs?
We did a show in Vegas one time.
Really?
We did.
This is a hell of a story, and I don't know if we should share it. We packed up Kenneth's Cadillac. Got a U-Haul trailer and put all of our gear back in the back of it, which is basically a computer, a table, a bunch of speakers, lights, and Matt's amp. Right, so it fit in one of the really small.
That was so
U-Haul
dumb.
trailers.
We could have put that shit in something smaller.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, we drive all the way out to Las Vegas to do this show in a warehouse. Right. We get there, we set up, we do our sound check and shit, right? And the fucking headlining band, or the band that was on, we were the second to the last band. And the last band comes up to Chris and goes, "Hey man, we don't want to play last. You guys mind switching sets with us?" And Chris was all like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude, we'll do that." Because then all of a sudden, in his mind, I think he was like, "Oh shit, all of a sudden we're the headliners of the show." You know what happened? As soon as that fucking band was done, that fucking warehouse cleared the fuck out.
And it was so packed with many
fucking
people.
Packed. It was fucking packed. That would have been a huge fucking show. If we would have played our time slot.
I stood in at the only exit. There was like a double door, and I put my arms out. I was like, "Stop! Stop!" And I was all yelling. Those young kids just, "Fuck you, we're leaving."
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, it was terrible.
So, instead of playing
No,
to
but-
400 people, we played to about 20.
No, I think it was probably 8. 8, 20. It was terrible.
The other band guys' girlfriends.
That was the only show that we did with that lineup, though, outside of Colorado.
Yeah. Did you guys
Oh my
play a lot of
God.
live shows?
We had our share of live shows. We were doing, we did a garden show for sure. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember we did a show with Supper in that
We
lineup.
played at Pinky's.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I remember that. I remember that because I couldn't get the drum machine to sync with the freaking computer. Let's back get like plug MIDI into a little drum machine and sync it with back in 96.
Damn.
And
Yeah, man.
this is kind of a trip too, because you're like computers. Wow, cool. Kenneth, who was a computer guy, and he built his own computer. And I remember Chris and him were getting in an argument, and he was asking him to download some songs, and he's like, "Dude, you don't understand. If I download these 5 songs, I will have no room on my computer." It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, "Dude, my computer has 2 gigs." And
Holy shit. Man.
and he's like, and he said, "I'm gonna get another hard drive," because you could have 2 hard drives in your computer. He says, "I'm gonna get another hard drive. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna hold a lot more. It's gonna be 3.5 gigs, and then I can download 5 songs." And yeah, the software that we're using for our live performance ate up the entire space for both of his hard drives. It was
Wow.
ridiculous. And every time we wrote a new song, we're kind of anticipating going, okay, every 4 months there would be a new release of a bigger hard drive for capacity to do another song on the software that we were using to record, well, not record, but just to have on the software that was running the music on his computer.
What was that software? Do you remember, Matt?
I don't. It was some kind of stupid general MIDI shit. It was pretty lame. It was really lame.
Amazing how times have changed.
Amazing. Really amazing.
Well, you had to have a very specific gear to make that kind of music back then, man. And that shit, sequencers and digital recorders and shit were not cheap when they first came out.
Oh, no.
It's like we had one. It was $500 that we I remember getting as after there's GPM after Christian, and we got it from some guy who ripped it off from some place he had, and he sold it for us dirt cheap. It was stupid, and it didn't sound very good.
Really?
It was dumb. That was 1998. But yeah.
So the first iteration of GPM lasted, grand total of a couple years. You guys playing out about a year or so, right? And then when you guys stopped, GPM stopped for a while altogether, correct? Before you, because it was you and Chris that decided to bring it back, right?
Yeah.
And that's when Chris called me, and I got to come in, and I remember it was me, Matt, Chris, and Kenneth. I don't remember. I swear there was other people with us.
Tim?
Tim?
No, wait. That was the Colorins thing.
That was Colorins. So with Triton, I don't know if Triton was in the GPM part or if it was when we switched to Grinch Complex.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Bless you.
Grinch Complex. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, so we did GPM for, it wasn't very.
I don't remember even actually doing it, GPM, for very long.
It may. I don't know that we ever played out under that moniker or anything.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Because I
remember you guys did a couple of shows because Kenneth was still in the band.
Kenneth was still in the band.
He wasn't in Grinch Complex with you guys, right?
No, that must be when it switched, when we decided to switch it. Maybe that's when Triton came in as well. I don't remember if Triton was in the part of GPM or not. But anyway, you know, we switched it to Grinch Complex. That was a lot of fun. It was
One show. Holy shit.
No, we did more than one show.
We went to two?
We did. I know we did at least one at the Underground, and then our last show was at the
Really?
Gardens. Yeah, the last show we did was at the Gardens, and because that was the last show that Chris and I played in Colorado before we moved to New Orleans, and
in the Grinch Complex.
In the Grinch Complex. Yeah, I got pictures from that show. I got a picture of you and Triton and a picture of me and Chris. And but I remember the one from the Gardens because we had just started playing Relax from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And somebody had recorded the show. I don't remember who it was, but there was a microphone there recording it. And why I remember this shit is beyond me, but I remember hearing it, and then right at the end of it, Pete Schroll had found the recording mic and walked over to it during the show right as we were done playing, and he just started yelling, "Relax, motherfucker, don't do it."
Oh shit!
So I don't know why I remember that, but I do. So that's why I know that we played at least the one,
Wow.
at least the one at the Underground, and we did the one at the Gardens, and yeah, that was.
Did one. The only one I remember was that Pure Energy.
So it must have been more than. It must be 3 shows then. I don't remember. That was a haze-filled time. At that point.
Bad. Bad.
And then so we had left. I came back, and when did you guys decide to bring it back the next time, the third time?
Well, after you guys came back, we did The Color Insane for like a year and something. Then that turned into shit. And then I started writing. I started actually, because in the original Godless Promise Mechanism, I didn't write any of the music. I was just writing my guitar parts.
Right.
It was all Chris and Kenneth, mostly, right, Christian?
Yeah, well,
Writing those songs.
for the most part, yeah. For the most part, they arranged all the sequences for the songs that we added on that weren't already there from Rodella.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know we had, I think it was a total of 3 songs, and I'm not sure. I know it was Liar was definitely Rodella's song.
That's right. There was like 3 songs that Rodella actually wrote.
And the EP was, if I'm not mistaken, 7 songs or something like that. 7 songs, 6 or 7.
Do you guys have?
I should have one with me while we're doing this interview. That's what I should have grabbed.
You have a copy of that cover?
I gotta go get it. Hold on.
That cover is fucking amazing, man.
It's fucking insane, man. It's absolutely insane. I've had one of those for years. I think I might still have it somewhere, but if I didn't, I lost it when I moved out of our house in the Springs. But I had that cover for years, man.
That cover is something else, man.
I remember the first time I saw that, I was just like, holy shit, you've got to be kidding me.
Fucking teeth.
It happens.
I think we'll have to maybe insert this picture later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to scan that and send it to me or something.
It's such a great cover for an album called Toxic Shock Syndrome.
Oh my Lord.
Epic, man. We got so much love and hate for that.
Yeah.
I think as many people loved the cover as hated it.
It was
controversial as fuck.
Yeah.
What was the Rover? Was it Rover Mag back then?
Yeah, the Rover magazine.
Yeah. They did an interview with us, but they kind of roasted us for the fucking cover.
Really?
Yeah.
But fuck them, it's art.
That's right.
We had to get a porno company to actually print
the covers.
because in Canada, because nobody in America would want to print it for CD. So we spent $1,600 on
Holy crap.
printing.
Now,
We never recouped it. Oh no, it's all loss. Never recouped that.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great cover, though, dude.
I remember my dad going, your mom's not very happy about the cover to your album. She thinks it's a little bit, it doesn't play up very well for women, in it. I was like, dude, my wife came up with that. She's proud of it. And the funny
no worse than any blistering body pus album cover.
The funny thing is, most of the I actually got compliments from women.
Mm-hmm.
Guys were like, your album covers horrible.
I think women understood. I think the women understood the irony more of the photo than. I mean,
right.
It is ironic. I mean, the album's called Toxic Shock Syndrome. I mean, there's a lot of irony there.
I thought it was great.
If Christian and I could redo the album, add some songs, and have that on the cover,
it'd be huge.
It would be huge. Huge.
Oh. You just call the album WAP.
So yeah, but back in about, I think it was 2000, into 2002 or 2003, Matt came across this little app called Fruity Loops, and all of a sudden he started cranking out this fucking badass electronica and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Christian. He called me up one day and he's like, Christian, hey, man.
Dude, I know. I hadn't talked to him for years.
Right. And he's like, check this out. This is what I'm doing now. And I was like, dude, how did you do that? And he turned me on the Fruity Loops, and I was like, why the fuck is this so easy all of a sudden? Why the fuck is the shit that was so hard in 96 so easy in 2003?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then lo and behold, man, he came up with all the songs. I started writing lyrics, and then he and I got he upgraded from a 4-track Fostex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was cassette. 4-track Fostex is what we recorded. What we recorded Toxic Shock on.
Yeah.
We upgraded to an 8-track digital.
Nice.
Fostex. Yep.
And then we recorded. It
was the demo,
the
self-titled demo.
Yep. And we're like, fuck, this is great, man. We need to play this out. And then we formed the band that's behind me.
Was that just the two of you that did that record?
Yeah.
The recording part of it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I did not know.
I mean,
that.
later we went back and.
Yeah, we redid the actual whole
album. Yeah,
right.
That was just a demo that we did, but we did do the whole demo, just him and I.
With bass, my brother Jason Mengle on bass, and James Tagawa on guitar, and Jeff
on drums.
Jeff on drums. Jeff, what's his last name? Jeff Alderson.
Alderson, yeah.
Alderson.
Why can't I remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah,
and he did program the drums for what he wanted to do on the drums, as opposed to what I
playing them live, recording them live.
Yeah, he redid them.
But what year did you form that group? When you actually formed?
2002, 2003. Because the record came out 2003, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we played out a lot. Well, we played out quite a few shows with those guys.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
We opened up for Orgy at 32 Blue. That was fucking dope.
That was cool.
It's a fucking sick ass show.
I forgot all about that. Christian.
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. Yeah. The fucking guitar player dude that came up with all that MIDI shit, playing that MIDI crap, that Roland.
Yeah.
came up for him. Yeah, he was all talking to me. It was like, dude, that's fucking cool shit. It's like I was like, dude, we don't do any of that stuff. It's all sequence. And it's all tracked. And he was actually like, wait, how do you do that? It's like, dude, this is your genre, man. I was like,
Right.
okay. So you take
At that time they were fucking top of the genre.
Yeah.
But I spill the beans. I'll spill the beans right now.
Oh, shit.
So you take all your recordings, and you put them, track for track. This is my brainchild for GPM. Okay, all the recordings. I've explained this many times, and you put them on ep.3. You pan live, everything live to front of house, hard right. You bleed it over a little bit left with a click track. That's the trick. You have to have the click track on one side for the drummer. So the drummer's hearing the click with a little bleed, and then everything else is going out live. And that's industrial. You can have anything behind you want, as long as your drummer can play to a click track. But since then, it's even more produced. It's actually taking it on a full scale production recording software, and putting the production on front of house, as far as front of house goes. And you go, okay, drummer, when it goes from verse to chorus, you want a little something you hear to let you know that it's going to, do a little cowbell, ting, 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 when it comes in, and then have
a friend of mine texts for ministry, and he's in charge of the drums and the drum sounds and all the MIDI playback. That's his gig during their shows. He controls, he triggers all the MIDI playback. He actually does trigger, like he triggers sound for the drummer to. Right. He changes it. He changes his patches according to what song is being played, but then also he runs any MIDI tracks that back up the song. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways to do it. Yeah, he runs 2 laptops. So many ways. I mean, you could program everything. There was one band, I don't know if you remember, Christian, Red Rum. Mm-hmm. They played with they had a digital it's like an ADAT tape, so it's 8 channels, and they have eight ADAT could do 8 channels. They have 8 channels running into the front of house, and they have their whole show on there. Of course, you can't change your set when you're doing that. It's set, so you got that set up, and it's all running to front of house. And you better have your shit sounding good when it's right in the front of the house like that. Right. But it works. It's another way to do it. One of those tracks, one of the 8 was actually the click track for drummer. Oh yeah. So it's feeding straight to the drummer's headphones. But man, getting a drummer
to be able to follow a click track.
That's
before always, we got
that's always one of the first things I say.
We went through a couple of drummers trying to get the 2003 version launched because Keith Kieran, we tried him out and he just couldn't.
It's tough.
Playing to a click was not for him.
It pisses him off.
Dean Bollinger, we tried him out. Playing to a click was not for him.
He did okay.
He did better. He did better than
Keith did. All right,
but still, it wasn't something he was comfortable with.
He didn't mind the click, but he was all right. He did good. But yeah, I've talked to a couple of drummers. I actually did talk to a couple of drummers, Christian, in and out of those times, and brought that up. Can you play to a click track? Fuck no. Fuck that. There's no fucking way. It's like, okay.
Jeff had no problem with it, man. He loved it.
Yeah, some guys that's
It's right in their wheelhouse.
Right. And
It's either in your wheelhouse or it's not.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
Bleeding over into the Lesson Zero part of this, Greg loved playing to a click track, but he also liked having the snare and the kick in his ears. And so I was like, cool, you like this? I'd program it,
Mm-hmm.
And he would be like, yeah, that's cool, but the snare's lame, and he wants to hear
his snare and his kick.
he also wants to hear sort of his fills
Yeah.
leading into the next part. So there was a ton of time spent programming each sequence. These are 80s songs. Like what the 80s songs are, not the original, what he did, what Greg was playing for us live, what snare fills were, kind of the same, depended on the song. He was particular, but it was really cool being able to have that technology at your hand to help somebody perform live. And you could. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I commend drummers that can do that. I mean, and I think honestly, it's maybe not in any type of music that you do, but it's definitely it's a good asset to have, to be able to do it as a drummer. But I fully understand the guys that are like, fuck that. Like, you just can't, you lose the feel or whatever the case is for them. And,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, guys that can do it. I mean, I can play guitar or bass along to a click track. I guess it would help if I could play drums at all. If I'd say I couldn't do it to a click track, but the fact that they're moving 4 limbs as it is, and then trying to go to a little click track, I don't know. It seems tough to me.
That's not my genre. I don't know. I don't know what that's like for a drummer.
Right.
But any little bit, if it works to help them along, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're playing with electronics and whatnot.
But yeah, we played quite a few shows during that 2003 run. We did the City Odd. We played Denver Marquee. Was it the Marquee or the Oriental? We did a theater show. We were getting shows, and then it came time to record. Bluebird Theater. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then it came time to record the record. We did the record, and then Jeff got a job in Oklahoma, so he was out. He was gone.
But you guys did that for a couple of years, though, right? You did that GPM.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
At least through, that's what the story I was telling you before, because when Shabetta played with you guys for a New Year's show from it must have been 05 going into 06. I don't know how much longer you guys played after that, but we played with you guys and I can't for the life of me remember the name of that club. It was over in Rockrimmon.
Cleats?
No, it was on the other side of Rockrimmon.
In that strip mall?
Yep. Yeah.
Was Todd Jones doing sound?
He may have been. He might have been, yeah.
Todd Jones.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that place. But yeah, we played with you guys there. And I remember that was a good show. That was a good time. Did you guys never hit the road outside of Colorado?
Not with that iteration, with that lineup, I don't think.
No,
we were family men then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already stagehanding by then. Because I had done, I had already had 2 summer sanitarium tours under my belt at that point.
Right. Yeah. And if it was up till 05, well, technically to 06, I was already stagehanding by that point too.
Yeah.
And, but nonetheless, is that you guys just did the one record on that last lineup?
Yeah. The self-titled LP, the self-titled record. Yep.
Yeah. I remember hearing you guys playing quite a bit at that time.
Yeah. I remember we played quite a few shows in that lineup too. It was cool though, because we had a full band, you know what I mean? It was so different, but so fun, man, because
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we had the sequencing and a real drummer.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just the guy with a computer.
Exactly.
Man, the energy level it's really, it helps a lot. Drummers.
Now, do you guys you guys just all called it quits when Jeff left?
Well, we tried. I think that was one of the points where we tried to get another drummer to jump in and take over, but we couldn't find a drummer who was willing to play to a click.
Mm-hmm.
And then this other band came along and asked me to join them. And
That's when you
Less
was
Than
that?
Zero.
Who was that? Did you say?
Less Than Zero came along and
Less
said,
Than
"Hey,
Zero."
Matt, how you doing?" And I'm always like Mr. Open the door of opportunity and say, "Hey, what's going on over here? Let me check this shit
Yeah,
out."
I ain't doing nothing. Yeah,
And it was
I ain't busy.
Tim Gates and Leon Lala, and they were like had this idea of doing 80s metal song covers. And I was like, dude, that sounds fucking cool.
It's funny. Christian and I, again, why I remember this particular night is beyond me, but we were running Spotlight for a CC game one night. And Christian told me the idea about Less Than Zero. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to do this 80s cover band. We're trying to get all the guys together or something to that effect. And I remember telling him, oh man, that's really cool. If you guys ever want a second guitar player, let me know. And he didn't say anything. And we kept talking about it for a while. I brought it up again. I'm like, hey man, if you guys are ever looking for a second guitar player, let me know. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. turns off his mic. It's like fucking, all right, man, point taken.
I think at that point we had already we were already eyeballing Tagawa. I think that's right. That's why I
who's over Christian's left shoulder at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah. But that was weird because we tried and tried. How long were we at it, Christian?
What's that?
Get these cover songs down and.
Oh man,
dude, 80s covers, man. There's so much shit. You got keyboard shit going on, the guitar, and some of the songs were fine, but some of them is like
some of them would not translate for us. But again, we're in drop B tuning. We're basically LTZ for me was why I always call it a tribute band is because we took them fucking songs and we played them the way we felt they should have came out back in that time.
Right.
That's the way I always approached learning songs for that band particularly.
But didn't James join that band? You guys were a little ways into it before he joined, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. We were at least a couple months, I think. Mm-hmm. Several practices in and just not being able to get the shit to work. It was like something, it was experimental for me. I had no idea how to make it work. And I was actually playing the guitar synth in GPM and I was playing the guitar synth in Less Than Zero.
Yeah, we need to get back. We need to stay on track.
That's where life leads off, but it's really the demise of GPM for the moment, really,
Well, up until, a few months ago where fucking Matt's all like, I wish we could redo these songs. And I was like,
my God,
why don't we just fucking do that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was like, why don't we pick some of our favorite songs off of 2003, remix them, right? Try to see if we can save some songs off of 96's Toxic Shock Syndrome, remix those, and, write a couple singles and fucking, and next thing you know, we're working on the Ultra Mix album 2020, man. So,
yeah.
And luckily enough, so far we were able to rescue at least one song for sure.
So far,
Toxic Shock. Yeah. Toxic Shock. We feel like we can get a couple more, but we feel like we can get a couple more off that album, and like Everything Bad 2020 Ultra Mix redo is a fucking killer song.
It's
It is.
really good.
Again,
is.
we tried to save Chris's vocals, but it's not possible because when we recorded that, it was all 4-track and shit.
Oh
Right.
my God.
But we recorded all the vocals off of that song, and then I sang Chris's parts, and like I said in the foresight in episode 1, I really felt like I managed to put him back in the current version of that song,
Right,
by giving his parts the same little artsy nuances that he did. And you'll just have to wait to hear it for yourself when we release it. So
yeah, I'm excited to hear all of it.
Yeah,
for sure. Excuse me. Is that just going to stay a studio thing?
Yeah, it's definitely not something we've talked about doing live.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know how it is with
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
you really, even Leilani was like, live shows then? I was like, one step at a time. Let's just, one
You
step.
heard it here first. There's a chance.
well, the biggest chance is for a drummer that can play to a click track.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Get that going, then. All right.
Then the rest just falls into place.
It's all good, Dan.
Was there a song an old GPM song called Snicker, Matt?
Yes.
There was, wasn't it? I knew it. I was hoping I wasn't going crazy there, but that was one I used to really enjoy playing. I used to enjoy playing all of them, but I'm excited to hear the new stuff, man. I'm jazzed you guys are doing it, and what I've heard so far sounds wonderful. So,
well, we're taking some of them, like those songs off of 2003, dusting them off, fucking making them sound more up to date.
Yeah.
Matt's putting his his own personal producer spin on it this time around, because the self-titled album, Jeff Alderson pretty much produced that record.
Yeah.
On his own, because what ended up happening, we ended up being in a time crunch to put it out, because all of a sudden
he was leaving.
Yeah, he got a new job, and it was taking him out of state, and he was booking.
Yeah.
So we didn't have as much input production wise on that record,
and nothing against him. He did a good
as we
job.
Wanted. Oh yeah, he did a great job. It really came out for 2003. It was pretty good for a self-produced record. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was all right for that time. It's good.
Wow, it's been 17 years. Damn.
Yeah, well, 17 years later, come to find out, we can still polish those songs up even more.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Or write new songs.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys have decided to do this, man. I think it's awesome. You guys have any
hey, Brian, you want to lay some tracks down for some GPM albums?
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Do you guys have any kind of projected time when you want to get it released, or you just kind of going with the flow?
Well, we're trying to shoot for, it's called the Ultra Mix Album 2020. So we're kind of a little bit
2021, maybe.
Yeah, it probably won't. It probably won't release until January of next year for sure. But we're sticking with the title for the album.
Perfect.
That's good. That's
perfect.
Good.
Well, guys, we're just about at our hour here.
Cool.
It's been awesome talking to you. Love seeing you again, Matt.
Me too,
you're as beautiful as ever.
Oh, yeah. Love to see you.
I can't wait to play some more video games with you. And
oh yeah, with Gen X Joe, baby.
With Gen X Joe. But I will.
What you drinking, Matt?
Oh, that's some whiskey right there.
Oh yeah.
Woo. I tried whiskey last week. I lasted about half
he
a
did.
glass.
He did.
My cheeks went all rosé.
By the end of the last episode, he's like this.
Oh, yeah. That's why episode, I've had about maybe 2 shots.
2, huh?
So
That's it. And then I had a beer.
I saw a couple more than 2 shots go up.
No, that I was pouring my beer into my.
But yeah, Matt, thanks so much for coming on and doing the GPM episode with us. I'm sure we will see you again for the Lesson Zero episode. Hopefully we can get that sorted out.
We'll do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. So we have a world premiere, maybe? Yeah, we'll call it a world premiere because it really is, of one of the new tracks off the upcoming Ultramix album 2020 by GPM. This is Virus, Ultramix 2020.
Excellent.
To conquer others is to have power. To conquer yourself is to know the way.
You know, do us a good favor, guys. It'd be great if all of you, if you're watching this, please follow us, like the videos. It really helps get our stuff out there.
Okay, ready? Remember to like, follow, and share. We appreciate everybody's support so much.
That's right, we do. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, share, watch, like. If you're on Facebook, follow, share.
Check us out on Insta, Twitter. Get to work, Brian.
We'll get that done. All right. Thanks, guys.